Good afternoon. On behalf of the Ivy League Executive Director Robin Harris and her staff, welcome to the media and those in attendance to Ivy Madness. We appreciate your support and coverage of our student athletes, coaches, and programs. Our third team of the day is second-seeded Columbia Lions. The Lions came into tomorrow's game versus third-seeded Yale with an overall record of 21-5 and finished the Ivy League regular season with a 12-2 record. Joining me on the stage is head coach Megan Griffith, Caitlin Davis, and Abby Shue. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Griffith and then move on to questions for the student athletes before finishing up with questions for Coach. Coach, welcome to Ivy Madness. Can you please start with an opening statement, please?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here and for being excited about our program. You know, I think the Columbia Women's Basketball brand, in large part, is because of the young women I have sitting to my left and my right. You know, I'm just so proud of the journey that we've been on this year and been building on since 2 seasons ago. And I'm really excited for you all to get a look at that up close and personal this weekend.
Questions for our student athletes. Again, if you could please announce your name and your media affiliation the first time you ask a question.
Hi, Jen Hatfield with The Next. Just curious, you know, it's been a long road since 2020. How does it feel to, you know, you got your send-off last night, to walk in this gym today knowing that you're here for the tournament and not just a regular season game, but, you know, you're here and it's happening?
Yeah, I don't know. Do I have
You're good.
to lean in or anything?
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I mean, it feels surreal. We were, my whole team were in the locker room at Columbia last night or the night before, and we're just like, wow, we're actually leaving. You know, we've come a long way. It's been a long journey, but, you know, we're excited. We're happy to be here.
I second that. It's super exciting to be here. You know, looking back 2 years where we wanted to be, and so, you know, the job's not over, and we're just excited to keep going.
Rob Brown, Ivy Hoops Online. For Caitlin, could you talk about the first team All Ivy honors and what you're feeling right now, you know, with a weekend where you could be going up against, well, you will be going up against Camilla Emsbo, but possibly Ellie Mitchell as well?
I think it's just a testament to how much my team believes in me and my coaches, and I think just going forward, just continuing to be there for my team and make sure that I'm the best version of myself for them, and yeah.
And how are you guys approaching leading your team through this, even though you guys haven't necessarily been here before yourselves, but how are you guys being leaders, you know, kind of through the unknown here?
We're just, you know, believing our coach's game plan, and, you know, as long as we carry ourselves with confidence, our team will follow. So that's how we do it.
100%. We're, you know, this is a new spot, but we've envisioned ourselves here. So just making sure that we're doing everything every single day the right way to make sure that we're in our best moment here.
Any other questions for our student athletes? Okay, you guys can head back and get ready.
All right.
Woo!
That's it. Y'all
All
are
right.
missing out. You got to put them in the hot seat
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Questions
Good.
for
Are you gonna
Coach
hop
when you guys are ready. Oh,
Go over
sorry.
this back. Go that way.
Yeah. Yep. All right, hot seat for now for you. Coach, any questions for Coach?
Thanks, Tim. Megan, Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philadelphia Inquirer. You know as well as anybody how long we've all been waiting for a Columbia team to break through and get to an Ivy tournament finally. What does it mean to you to have done it this year and to be the coach of that team at your alma mater?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. I'm extremely blessed and fortunate to be back home. I would just say that. Like, I'm really grateful to Peter Pilling, Joe Quinlan for hiring me and taking a chance on me. You know, I was a very young option for them. Coming out, you know I had my time at Princeton, and I'm grateful to Courtney and those guys for believing in me too. But, you know, I think, like, they took a chance on me, and Peter just dove headfirst into my vision. And with that support, I think, you know, from your boss, you can really achieve anything. And I have a phenomenal staff that has stuck with me. I think you win with people, and I've been really fortunate to win with the same people. And they've done a great job bringing in the right young women that I think, again, like I said, you're going to enjoy watching play this weekend, and I think people have been enjoying watching all season.
Hey, Coach. Basically the same things that I asked the players. Did you get butterflies, chills walking in today, and how are you preparing the team for the unknown yourself as well?
Yeah, great to see you, Jen. I don't know if I got butterflies. I think like right now sitting here, that was more of the butterfly moment for me. It was just like to be here, to hear Columbia, like it's time for your press conference. But honestly, like I've been preparing for this moment my entire career, and I'm excited. I'm really excited to be here, but I'm also like very locked into what we have to get doing tomorrow. And, it starts with every day. And I think that's something we've been preaching to the team is like no day is bigger than the next, especially games, right? Games are like 10% of what we do all year. So I keep telling our players, like, if we're great at practice today, you're going to have the results you want. And really focusing on being just like response driven and not outcome driven. I think that's what has led to the success of this team. And again, a huge credit, especially to these two. Like they've been just totally bought in, believing in the mission that I, tried to recruit them with. And I think they're doing a great job being stewards of what we wanted Columbia women's basketball to be. So enjoying it, but I'm also very realistic and ready to go.
Coach, after the Princeton game, you talked about that the team didn't really follow the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
With a young team and their first postseason experience, you've got Yale and then possibly Princeton.
Mm-hmm.
How do you and the coaching staff get them to make sure that they're following the game plan for these two games?
Mm-hmm. Rob, you keep saying possibly. We will be here for 2 games, I can tell you that. But no, I'm just giving you a hard time. I think for us, there's confidence in what we're doing because of the work we've done, right? And we just have to remind them that you are ready for this moment. And you're not ready just because of today or yesterday or this week of practice. Like, you're ready because of all of the work you have put in this entire year and the year before and the year before that. We have a unique team. Like, we're like young in some ways. I think people think we're older, but our senior has played 2 seasons of college basketball and now this one. And so we are still quite a young team. So they do ride, I think, my vibe. And as long as I'm instilling and breeding that confidence in them and, gut checking them when they need that, I think that we will absolutely get the outcome we want by starting the game tomorrow the way that we want. And just, again, reminding them, giving them positive reinforcement of we're doing the right things, celebrating choices, not outcomes.
Thanks. Megan, the standings are what they are, the various stats, metrics, whatever what they are, about 1 to 4 in this league and sort of the gaps theoretically between them.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see as the gap from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and how it might play out this weekend?
Yeah, I think, to me, Princeton's a very good team. I've recruited a lot of those players. I mean, like Abby Myers, I recruited, when I was there. So I know how talented they are, right? Like, you get to sit in the living rooms with those players and their families and talk to them. And, I know that team has won a lot. Courtney won a lot. Carla is also a winning coach. So there's a different kind of like culture, right, that they have been experiencing. At Columbia, we haven't won at all. So I think that is the biggest difference between 1 and 2 is just like they don't know yet what it's like to win. And I keep telling them, I'm like, if you just trust me, which they do, I have their full trust, I will help you get there. And I was like, I know exactly what it takes to win in this league and for this program, especially being an alum and knowing it's like to be a Columbia person. So I would just say the gap there is that's all it is. To me, I mean, they're a very good team. They're obviously a top 25 team right now and defensively very elite. But, I know that when we're at our best, again, like we can beat them. So I'm looking forward to that opportunity, but not overlooking the 3rd seed or the 4th seed, 2 teams that were 7-7. We went 12-2 this year. I think everybody forgets that. We went 12-2 and lost to 1 team who is top 24 in the country. Everybody else lost to multiple teams in this league, including us 2 times. So I think that's the confidence I have that our team needs to go out and execute tomorrow night. I'm very, very, very confident that we will get the job done. But again, sticking to the game plan and remembering how we got here is really important.
Coach, going back to the youth, and I could really ask this of a lot of teams, but in addition to coming here wanting to win the tournament, how important is this weekend as a developmental point for your team?
Yeah, enormous, Jen. I think, we haven't had the postseason experience, and honestly, I've been very grateful for the 2 opportunities to play Princeton and be able to even like move that game to later in the season, because those have been like our closest postseason experiences. Where like, I mean, we had a phenomenal crowd at Levy and Gymnasium. We've had the best crowd next to the Princeton-Harvard men's game. We've had the best crowd in Ivy League basketball this year at home watching women's basketball at 5 p.m. nationally televised game. So like, I just think like that was a great postseason experience. Like, although it wasn't postseason, but like first place was on the line, right? A share of the title. And it was really good for us to be put in that position. So I was grateful for that opportunity. But other than that, we haven't had one, right? So I would just say like, you know, you got to take every moment and learn from it and just remind your team, like, you are ready for this. You are ready for this. But, you know, this is monumental for Columbia women's basketball to be in this situation. And I'm very appreciative of that and just really grateful about all the support that we have.
Any other questions for Coach?
You know, in terms of the psychological side of it, does a message that 12-2 wins this league sometimes, you know, does that work with a team that hasn't been to this point before, you know?
Yeah, that's a very good question. The other day after I think we won at home, our last home game against Brown, I talked to Caitlin and Carly, our point guard, and I was like, how does this like feel for you all? Like, and they were like, Coach, aren't we just supposed to be doing this? This is what you told us we were going to do. And so the mindset that they have is like, they literally are just so bought into what we've told them that I just think that we're like, this is where we should be. And I've told them, I'm like, you can be and play with the best teams in this league because I've been there. And I do really think they believe that wholeheartedly. I mean, for them to, you know, be as resilient we've been throughout the season. We played with every team. You know, Princeton's had the biggest gap with us, but they've proven to be the best team we played this year, right? We didn't know that heading into this season. Like, everybody had the year off in our league last year. So, you know, I would just say, like, they're ready. I think 12-2 definitely will build that confidence into them, knowing, you know, we've beaten everybody else. So, you know, tomorrow night we're approaching it like we're the best team.
Any other questions? One more? Okay.
Coach, not to put you on the hot seat too much, but with the All Ivy Awards just coming out, you've talked a lot about KD being the best player in the league,
Yeah.
and I wrote about Abby maybe being a little bit of a first-team snub last night. So just curious, your reaction. You know, obviously great to get 2 players on the All Ivy team, but how are you feeling about those results?
Thanks, Jen. I knew that was coming, Jen. I knew that was coming. I mean, if anybody looked at the statistics of Caitlin Davis, nobody in the league has those statistics. So I'll just say, number 1, she deserved to be on the first team. Number 2, Abby is one of the best shooters in the country. So the fact that she wasn't on the first team and we were 12-2 in the league and we had 1 first-team selection makes no sense to me. So, but what I do know is she's hungrier than ever to show everybody why she should be on first team. But that's not important to her. That's actually just more important to me because I know how much work that young woman puts in. And I'm telling you, Abby is a force to be reckoned with. She's going to break the Ivy League 3-point record this season. And she didn't make first team. But I guess that's not good enough for everybody else. So, you know, she's good enough for us, I can tell you that. And we are excited that she is at Columbia Lion, that she chose to stay and be here for the next 3 years too. So I just know that she's going to prove herself and prove that, you know, tomorrow. But it doesn't really matter to her. She's just trying to win a basketball game tomorrow night.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you all. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you,
All right.
everybody.
Best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks.